We're going to go ahead and get underway with our 9th game of Jeopardy Sports Edition for the SNES, and I've won $799,992 so far. Let's go ahead and get that $99,999 again.
Jeopardy!
Will and Vicky are my opponents this game. Here we go.
Here are the categories.
We're playing with these categories. Baseball lingo, football numbers, equipment, baseball players, countries, and finally, defeats. Okay, let's see the categories. I think we'll start with baseball lingo. Yep, we'll start with baseball lingo for 100, please.
The answer is...
Baseballers call this the horse and buggy league. What is the minors? A baseball lingo for 200. Daily double? 500. In baseball parlance, this is a keystone hit. What is a double? There we go. Baseball lingo 300.
The answer is...
This kind of animal is mentioned when referring to lively baseball. What is a rabbit? Baseball lingo for 400.
The answer is...
The cleanup hitter in a baseball batting order occupies this spot. What is 4? A baseball lingo for 500.
The answer is...
It is the hill to a baseball player. What is a pitcher's mound? Correct. There we go. We have $1,800. Baseball players is going to be our next selection. So let's go there now.
The answer is...
The person to pinch hit for Ted Williams. Who is Carol Hardy? Baseball players for 2.
The answer is...
This former Cincinnati catcher's dream is to join the Senior PGA Tour in 1998. Who is Johnny Bench? Baseball players for 300.
The answer is...
He won 30 games at 34. His brother and teammate Daffy won 19. Who is Dizzy Dean? A baseball player for 400.
The answer is...
This player's lifetime slugging percentage is second only to Babe Ruth's. Who is Lou Gehrig? Baseball players for 500, please.
The answer is...
He was celebrated on 87 posters reading Kirby for President. Who is Kirby Puckett? There we go. Countries is going to be our next stop. Yep, country's 100.
The answer is...
This Scandinavian country's version of baseball is called Pesapallo. What is Finland? Countries for 200.
The answer is.
Their female caddies wore helmets after 500 were hit in the head. What is Japan? Countries 300.
The answer is.
This country's skiers have included Anton Steiner, Franz Gruber, and Hans N. What is Austria? Countries 300.
The answer is.
Mideast nation who first saw golf in '61 with Sam Snead and Harry Wheatman. What is Israel? Countries for 500.
The answer is.
This European nation saw an avalanche kill us U.S. ski champ Buddy Warner. What is Switzerland? Okay. Defeats for 100.
The answer is.
This man lost 2 Masters playoffs. Who is Ben Hogan? Defeats for 200.
The answer is.
He threw 42 interceptions while quarterbacking the Houston Oilers in 1962. Who is George Blanda? Defeats for 300, please.
The answer is.
This 13 football team upset Army 35-13 when Gus Norias threw to end Newt Rockne. Well, who are Notre Dame? Who's Notre Dame? Defeats for 400.
The answer is.
This team lost the coin flip that allowed Houston to draft Ralph Sampson for the Indiana Pacers. Defeats for 500.
The answer is.
The LA Lakers lost to this team in 6 NBA Finals in the 60s. Who are the Boston Celtics? There we go. I'm going to try the equipment category for 100. See how we do here.
The answer is.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and James Worthy sported these on the court in '88. What are goggles? Equipment 200?
The answer is.
Martha Cruce made these for Kirk Gibson and Jose Canseco. What are their bats? Equipment for 300, please.
The answer is.
The International Amateur Athletic Federation required these in the 100M in 1980. What are starting blocks? Equipment for 400.
The answer is.
A Swedish player hit Canada's coach over the head with this at the '64 Olympics. What is a hockey stick? Equipment for 500.
The answer is.
This mechanic invented the first ice resurfacing machine in 1949. Who's Frank Zamboni? There we go. Alright. That just leaves the football numbers category. We'll start with 100.
The answer is.
The number of footballs a home team supplies for an NFL game. What is 24? 200.
The answer is.
The number of undefeated college teams that Bear Bryant directed as a head coach. What is 4? 300.
The answer is.
The number of timeouts an NFL team can call per half. What is 3? 400.
The answer is.
The number of points an NFL team scored if a referee high-fives himself. What is 2? Last clue.
The answer is.
The number of 2-minute warnings given in a regulation NFL game. What is 2? There we go. So I have $9,300. We've yet to hear from Will and Vicky. Let's play Double Jeopardy.
Here are the categories.
The categories we have for Double Jeopardy are endorsements, number of teams, hodgepodge, foods, baseball first, and we'll close it out with most in a season. Alright. Let's play. Foods for 200.
The answer is.
This Major League Baseball team's fans down the most crab cakes at games. Who are the Baltimore Orioles. Foods for 400.
The answer is.
This European brand of beer features Paris' 1889 Grand Prix on its label. What is Heineken? I'll go with foods for 600.
The answer is.
The Pittsburgh Pirates eat an average of 40 bags of these per game. What are sunflower seeds? Foods for 800.
The answer is.
This New York Yankee slugger kept his strength up with 18 egg omelets. Who is Babe Ruth? Foods for 1,000.
The answer is.
This MLB team's fans devour more chili than any other. Who are the Cincinnati Reds? There we go. $12,300. Let's see where we stand right now. Let's have baseball first for 200.
The answer is.
He was the first Major League Baseball player to strike out 2,000 times. Who is Reggie Jackson? Baseball first 400.
The answer is
They were the first baseball team to travel by plane to all road games. Who are the New York Yankees? Baseball first for 600.
the answer is
He was the first player to pitch for both leagues in an all-star competition. Who is Jim Bunning? Baseball first 800.
the answer is
This was the first professional baseball team. Who are the Cincinnati Red Stockings? There we go. Baseball first 1000.
the answer is
He became the first black ML manager when he managed the Indians in 75. Who's Frank Robinson? Correct. Endorsements for 200.
the answer is
This NBA star felt better with a Ben Gay rub before each game. Who is Larry Bird? Endorsements for 400.
the answer is
Brand of footwear that John McEnroe stomped through temper tantrums in. What is Nike? Endorsements for 6.
the answer is
Magic Johnson performed his tricks in these brand of shoes. What is Converse? Endorsements 800. Daily double. All in. This movie star got a job as team manager for veteran auto racer Mario Andretti, who is Paul Newman. He's the one. Endorsements 1,000.
the answer is
This athlete's drink claims that it gives your body what it's thirsty for. What is Gatorade? There we go. Hodgepodge 200.
the answer is
This renowned marathon was first held in 1897. What is the Boston Marathon? Hodgepodge for 400. Daily double. All in. He was the first black to play for the U.S. Davis Cup team in 1963. Who was Arthur Ashe? There we go. 600.
the answer
Hodgepodge.
is
This sport has been called a pile of riches guarded by a pair of very sharp horns. What is bullfighting? Hodgepodge 800.
The answer is.
This U.S. state is home to the Dog Mushers Hall of Fame. What is Alaska? Hodgepodge for 1,000.
The answer is.
This pen company sponsors the annual World Series Championship of Women's Softball. What is BIC? There we go. $70,800. Most in a season for 200.
The answer is.
This Redskin had the most receptions in a single season with 106 and 84. Who is Art Monk? I'll have most in a season for 400.
The answer is.
This Giant kicked the most field goals in a season with 35 and 83. Who is Ali Haji Sheikha? Here we go. Let's have most of the season for 600.
The answer is.
He had the most sacks of the season with 22 as a Jet in 84. Who is Bart Gastineau? Most of the season for 800.
The answer is.
He completed the most passes of the season with 404 as an Oiler in 1991. Who is Warren Moon? Most of the season for 1,000.
The answer is.
This Ram caught the most interceptions of the season with 14 and 52. Who is Dick Knight Train Lane? Correct. Let's go with number of teams for 200.
The answer is.
The number of NHL teams in the league as of the 1993 season. What is 26? $400.
The answer is.
The number of teams in the NBA in 1993. What is 27? 600.
The answer is.
The number of teams in the NFL in the 1993 season. What is 28? 800.
The answer is.
The number of Major League Baseball teams in the 1993 season. What is 26?
The answer is.
The number of teams the American Football League had in its first season. What is 8? There we go. 76,800. Will and Vicky are going home. Let's look at the final Jeopardy category. It's home games. Alright, I will do $23,199. Lock it in. This professional football team plays home games at Joe Robbie Stadium. Who are the Miami Dolphins? There we go.
Final Jeopardy answer.
Another $99,999 coming my way. So that is now $899,991. And I'll see you all for the next video.